Hello there, and welcome to the Stay Off My Lawn podcast, where we'll have a little fun, lots of laughs, and discussions on the common sense that needs to be applied to a lot of today's world news issues. And now, the disclaimer. Stay Off My Lawn is not intended as legal, medical, or financial advice. Void where prohibited. No purchase necessary to win. Open to legal U.S. residents 18 or over in the contiguous 48 states. Any resemblance to anyone living or deceased is purely coincidental. Actual price may vary. Only use as directed. Not a member of FDIC. And now, here are your hosts, Mike and Richard.
All in one breath. It just kills me. Anyway, welcome to this week's episode of Stay Off My Lawn. It is February 3rd, 2026, and this is episode number 153. Or as some of the kids call it, 153.
153, that's right. And update, you're going to be next week?
Next week, I'm still on our schedule, but it's the following week, because my surgery is on the 12th. Yeah, so on the 10th, I will still be vertical. And on
we will be doing it, and I will no longer be a surgical buddy because my body said, oh, this is not going well, and my surgery got canceled yesterday, and now I've got to figure out why my blood sugar spiked, because it has something to do with healing, blah, 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 and they won't work on you if it's not down. So,
you know, it's funny what things do affect your healing. I remember when a couple of years after I had my neck fusion surgery, I recommended to a lady I worked with, she had the same kind of issue, went to the same doctor, and he told her, is like, well, you know, the only one thing that you really cannot do is drink alcohol and smoke after the surgery, because that affects your healing. And it didn't make any sense to her. So she didn't drink, but she smoked. And it's like, and it was a year later, she's still dealing with pain and all kinds of stuff. And I told her, it's like, they warned you about this. I mean, I just don't.
Your body of oxygen, what you need to help recover.
I guess that's what it was. I mean, but she was, and I was back driving a forklift 6 weeks after I had my disc fusion surgery done. I didn't have any pain meds. It was, I think a lot of it was because it hurt so much previously, and then it was gone, that I was like going, hey, I don't need anything. I feel like I'm on top of the world. So, so anyway, yeah. So my surgery, I should be coming home on the 17th if things go well, but I don't think I'll be home in time to do, and I won't feel like doing this. So no. I think we're going to try to get our friend Corey. If not Corey, we'll have somebody else to
yeah, we'll figure something out so that you don't have to just listen to me, or I'll put something up, or I'll figure it all out.
I have small shoes to fill. So, I mean, they're only size 11 and a half. So, I mean, you can work that out with whoever. And actually, before I lost all this weight, I was wearing size 12. Weight actually does a number on your feet. I wear 11 and a half now.
Huh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, mine hasn't changed even when I got chubby, and then I've lost a bunch of it. So, yeah, from after I retired, I'm down right at 30 pounds.
Yeah. I remember the last time I was in Vegas, I had my cowboy boots, and I hadn't worn them since my mother bought me them. She passed away in 2005. So this was only a couple of years ago. So it's like I was a little lighter back then. I was like 210 when we were in Vegas. And man, the blisters I got from those boots walking around Las Vegas that one night, I was like going, I'm never wearing these again. But now that I'm a svelte 177, man, they fit fine now. So yeah, your feet really do. It does things. It does for me anyway. I don't know. Then again, chemo took care of my toenail fungus. So, you know, there's always these, yeah. But it's now starting to come back. So, woohoo. Anyway, in the news, we have.
Yes. Oh, we have so much today. Yeepers.
There was a big snow here in the south over the weekend, here in the southeast anyway. But as far south as Sarasota, Florida, there was snow flurries coming down. It's just like that was, and I remember back in 1977, and when I grew up, probably 40 miles south of Sarasota, I think it was. We had snow flurries where you could look up and see the snow coming down, but it never made it past eye level because the ground was so warm. It evaporated by the time it got down. But I remember seeing snow flurries in 1977 with a big cold front that we had that year. Anybody who lives in the East Coast understands 77 was a bad year for the whole East Coast. But anyway, here in Northwest Georgia, we only got about an inch. But Greenville, South Carolina, which is probably
They got dumped on.
2.5 hours driving kind of northeast from where we are, not famous for getting a lot of snow. Upstate South Carolina, they got, in some areas in that city, they got 18 inches of snow. It's incredible.
Well, and that's the good, for lack of a better term, that's a good kind of snow to get because it packs, it's full of moisture, and you can make snowmen and all. When you get where it's snowing and it's, 15 degrees,
Yeah.
you
it's
can't
tough,
go ahead,
right?
try to pack it. It just goes, it doesn't, just because it's snow doesn't mean you can make a snowman with it.
When it snowed here the other day, it was like 11 degrees. So it was cold enough to where the snow was very similar to that. And when outside, it's like you made a footprint and it was like poof, and you saw the snow kind of like spread out. Of course,
Well, that's the one where I remember when daughter and son-in-law first moved to, they were near Boulder, Colorado at the time. And I said, now, when it's really cold and it snows, do not turn on your defroster on the car before you take that brush. And you take your brush and just get the snow off the windshield. You might have little bits of frosty bumps on the window, but your defroster will take care of most of that. But if you turn on your defroster with that real dry snow, now it will warm it up and then freeze, and takes forever to get off your windshield.
I did
Yes.
not realize that.
Well, you were up in upstate New York for a while. You didn't
5 years,
have
but I
cold.
never heard that. I
Yeah.
mean, we would brush everything off anyway, but I never heard that's interesting.
Yeah, get the snow off first, then start your car and get the defroster going.
Yeah, if you ever want to live in a place where the weather is absolutely awful, move to upstate New York because it's absolutely awful at any given time.
Yeah, I got a friend that's moving from here to Rochester.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, that was even worse than where we live.
Oh yeah, they get lake effect snow all the time there.
Yep, it's terrible. 6 months out of the year. I mean, but you've got maybe a week or two in September and a week or two in that's really nice, and then maybe a week or two during the summer. Other than that, I mean, it's either raining or snowing. I mean, it's absolutely awful, and people are grumpy because of all that. Which
Yeah, I would be.
and
Anyhow,
that's where Jimmy Buffett came up with changes in latitude, changes in attitude,
there
and
you go.
he was
How far
absolutely.
down is Sarasota? And
It is
which side of the
about 50
state is
miles
it on?
south of Tampa.
South of
Right.
Tampa. Okay,
Yeah.
I was going to guess about halfway down, but
Yeah, it was about halfway
roughly.
between Tampa and us, where I grew up. But the one house on the beach of the Outer Banks of North Carolina actually collapsed under the weight of the snow. I mean, it was like they had
It'll do that.
wind was, yeah,
Yeah,
wind was
especially when it's wet like that. Wet snow is super heavy. We had just under 2 feet of snow, and my roof doesn't pitch much, and so I had to get a snow rake and put it on the roof and pull snow off so I didn't get a dam on the edge of the house, and then that ruins. And so you just take
You
care
didn't
of
want
it.
to get a damn what on the end of that. Oh, I got you. You don't get a lot of snow though, do you? I mean, you get cold.
No, it some years, yes. The last few have been pretty decent. That's where our water comes from, and people don't understand that. And then we have big reservoirs, and that's how things get irrigated, and that's where our water is. And so, yeah, we're going to be hearing drought, 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 drought all the time this summer. I
maybe
can
the
tell you that
mountains,
right now. We haven't had crap for snow this year.
maybe the mountains had more than you realize. I mean, it's hard to know. No, you haven't. No. But anyway, I guess that's all over. But 2 weekends in a row. Oh, there's parts of Nashville because they got an ice storm up that way,
Oh, yeah.
and there were parts of Nashville that are still without power. I mean, like 10 to 20% of the residents of that county are just like completely in the dark, and they don't expect it to come back on for another couple of weeks. So if you live in Nashville, God bless you. I don't know what you need to move in the suburbs or something, because my nephew lives up there. I need to reach out to him and see how he's doing. He lives in East Nashville, the Pinky in the Air part of Nashville, which is very nice. Oh, it's beautiful. It really is. But man, I mean, the price he paid for his house. Woohoo, he does really well, so they're doing fine. But
Do they eat their grits with a special spoon?
I think so. They
They have a
They
grit
probably
spoon.
put cheese in it too, which is completely against
That's
my
it
whole
wrong.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't like cheese grits, but anyway, another story that came out this weekend: 3 million pages of the Epstein files have been released, and lots of references to Bill Gates and Prince Andrew, the artist formerly known as Prince Andrew. I don't think he's actually a prince anymore. Didn't King
I
Charles
thought they
boot him?
dethroned him, but because of all the shenanigans and whatever, and yeah, that's all coming out again. So yeah, not a surprise either one of them. But 3 million pages. Yeah, there's some light reading for your weekend.
Yeah. Now I guess they're using AI to kind of go through and put names and figure out, get everything organized so where they can tell. But Bill Gates, I guess his name came up a bunch of times. And who knows? I mean, we're taking all this information secondhand, but apparently he had a penchant for certain things. And I heard this from somebody who's normally credible. So I don't know. He had a penchant of things, and supposedly it gave him reason to get antibiotics. Let's put it
Oh,
that way.
good for him. Did he
Yes.
have one of those?
It was just like that. Yes, it was.
Does that work?
This is the same guy who was preaching to us about being healthy. You need to get your boosters. You need to wear a mask. You need to, well, apparently you weren't wearing a mask on something, because
Yeah,
you got through.
you definitely weren't gloved up, shall we say.
Yeah. Gosh, and he's just such a squishy looking man. I mean, he just doesn't seem like he's I don't know.
Just goes to show you what you can pay for when you have a lot of money.
That's so.
And then he took it home and shared it with the wife.
and
that's nice.
that was the
That was
demonic
the
net
that
there.
was the last straw.
Yeah, I think so. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yesterday was Groundhog Day, and
Was yesterday Groundhog Day?
yesterday was Groundhog Day.
Oh, yesterday was Groundhog Day.
If you don't get that reference, go back to the 1993 movie Groundhog Day, and you'll get it. Anyway, did you know previous prior
Gobbler, or I mean, Gobbler's knob. And let me get that right. There's a difference. Wow.
I think that it just feels like you need to cover Granny's ear with when you say Knobbler or whatever it is. Anyway, previous to 1993, when that movie came out, there was only about 1,000 or 2,000 people who would show up every year. Of course, it's colder than you can imagine in Pennsylvania.
Colder than the well digger's lunchbox. We'll leave the witch out of this one.
Yeah, leave the witch out. Yes. But, yes, it's that too, the way I understand it. But now, between 10 and 20,000 people physically show up at this event every year. And of course, since 1887, the groundhog has only been right 39% of the time. 1887 is when they started doing this.
So he's about the same as most
Meteorologists, right? So why not? I think he ought to do it.
Well, with the modernization of things, they might be slightly better than they used to be.
Your garden variety meteorologist probably is right at about 50% of the time, so I would think. But there are 82 weather predicting animals in the U.S. and Canada.
There's 82 of them.
82.
It's not bad enough that we all have to listen to one whistle pig tell us what the weather's going to be.
And did he really look for his shadow, or is he just standing there going, just rub my belly? I don't know.
He's going, I was hibernating. What do you want now?
It was 5 degrees yesterday. Goodness. Anyway, some of those other weather predicting animals is called Staten Island Chuck. You can guess where he's from. Jimmy the Groundhog is from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin.
Wait a minute, what's his name?
Jimmy the Groundhog?
Jimmy. I thought you said Jimmy. I'm going, what?
We need a new Timmy. There's a Buckeye Chuck from Cleveland. Pierre Shadow, Shadaux, from Acadiana, Louisiana. Say that 5 times fast. And of course, here in Georgia, we have General Beauregard Lee, and he's in Jackson, Georgia, which is just south
Does
of
he
Atlanta.
tell you the weather like, well, I want to tell you all, we had great weather down here this time of year?
My
No.
wife put it best yesterday. She goes, you know what? Doesn't matter what they say. We still have 6 more weeks of winter. It doesn't matter. So
Yep.
yeah, this is all ado about nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of when we hit February, it's like winter's almost over. So if we do get a storm, it warms up. If it snows overnight, it'll be gone by 10 in the morning. The morning commute might suck a little, but by and
Here in the
large.
here in the southeast, especially in our area, we have a thing called the blizzard of '93. And the blizzard of '93 dumped about 18 inches of snow, similar to Greenville. But it dumped, and people were without power for 3 or 4 weeks.
Mhm.
Some of them, it really was devastating to this area. And that happened in March. That was mid-March when that happened. So I mean, snow and the cold weather, it gets really bipolar around this time of year. It could be 70 degrees this week and 5 below next week. You just don't know. So.
I
Uh,
think ours was 2016, I think.
was it?
2017, something like that when we got, yeah, to get 2 feet of snow, but it was 5, 6 inches, then another storm hit, and then another storm hit, and it just kept piling up on it.
Mm.
And yeah, it was a real pain. I was training at call center at the time, and there were so many people that didn't come to work. It was very sparse. You didn't have enough people to answer the phones and things, and they're going, where are you coming from? Don't you live way out? Yeah, I'm out in Parman. For me to get there was like 45 miles or something to go to
Oh,
work. And it's like, well, you made it. Well, yeah, but I drove route truck and stuff on this crap for 30 years. So
yeah.
I'll deal
If
with
you
it. I don't like it, but I'll deal with it.
if you don't know how to drive in snow, which was my fish out of water when I lived in upstate New York, like you said, I got up there and oh, this can't be that bad. I ended up in the ditch 3 times in a month. It was awful. And I was like going, I don't think this is for me. And I still believe that to this day. Anyway, we got one more story to get to before we're almost at a break.
Hey, we're
Uh,
doing good.
a
We're
new
really,
video, we are moving. A new video was released last week of Alex Pretti. I don't know if you've seen uh, any of this, but it was like him spitting. Now get this. This was 11 days before his fatal shooting. He had some kind of encounter with ICE, and it kind of paints a different picture what the mainstream media tries to tell us, that he was this pacifist, that all he did was just care about people. He was a nurse and he just loved people. He just wanted to help. And anyway, he was mad. He was cussing a storm. I mean, telling him, saying all kinds of names that, again, you'd want to hide your grandmother's ears over. But anyway, he spit at the officers, which to me would have been enough to put him in cuffs and take him away at that point. But he kicked out the back taillight on one of the ICE vehicles, and it's like, so the guy had some rage issues. I mean, you could tell the way he was screaming, he was mad.
yeah.
Um,
And being an upstanding citizen, no, he'd gotten fired from his nursing job that he did because he cared about people, cared about them in a way that you're not supposed to care about them when they're sedated and in the hospital, and they found out some of the stuff, and so they let him go. They fired him from his. He hadn't worked in 3 months.
yeah, I had heard that he was, but they tried to say that he quit.
Yeah,
But I don't,
that's
yeah,
not what it was.
not what happened.
No.
And not to shy away from the spotlight when tragedy strikes, Elizabeth Warren, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Cherokee people.
Yeah,
Um,
Pocahontas. Anyway,
this is how she described Alex Pretti.
Caring for people was at the core of who he was. He was incapable of causing harm. Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized his familiar stillness and signature calm composure.
His stillness was after he got shot. Is that what you're talking about? Everybody's like that. Anyway, it was apparently that's a skewed view of reality.
Is that what we're calling it? Skewed? That's a BS view of reality, because it just was not just like the Maryland man. Do you know that? Yeah, no, he was not a good person either, and that one's kind of gotten shuffled. It's like, boy, they're just batting 1,000 trying to say all these people are such good. No, they're not.
Talked about that last week. They're just they go from news story to news story, thinking they've got a new hero, and it started with George Floyd, and then when the hero narrative falls apart, they move on to somebody else. And like you said, yesterday the mainstream media hasn't talked about him at all because it fell apart.
Because it's like, no, he wasn't, and you do not go to a protest whether you have the right to carry the gun or not. You don't go to a protest with a loaded gun and extra clip full of ammo.
And the thing is, look, if you're going to stand on the sidelines and watch the protest or film it on your phone, fine. And you got a gun in your back and you got a license for it, fine. I carry my gun all the time, and it's like, it's not that I'm not going to go engage with police officers over something they're doing. I mean, to me, that just makes common sense. But legally, it also is not right either. So anyway, we got a little bit more to go over this. We had Joey Jones from the Five kind of broke it down for us really, really well the other day. And so we will look at that when we come back. So hang in there and we'll be right back.
Mike Tarnow, Richard Durrington. The Stay Off My Lawn podcast continues next.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Homemade Pontoon Boat Maker.
Mr. Homemade Pontoon Boat Maker.
What happens when you cross 10 discarded drum barrels with 2 sheets of plywood and a cast-aside barbecue? A pontoon boat.
We're boating and grilling.
It's a boat. It's a dance floor. It's a boat and a dance floor.
We're boating and dancing.
Throw up a string of tiki lights, hit the stereo, power up the blender, and what have you got? Way too much electricity on top of a lot of water.
We're boating and getting electrocuted.
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh pirate of the pontoon, because you really shiver me timber.
Mr. Homemade Pontoon Boat Maker.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Sounds shocking. I mean,
Way too much electricity on a fake boat on water. Okay. I guess those are kind of popular in the South. May have some of those that were northern rednecks, but I don't think we get quite that far. We don't have as much water up here. You got to go to a reservoir where people have nice boats and stuff, and they look at you and go, ew.
my brother had one when he lived in Weatherby Lake, Missouri, and that was great. And yeah, I mean, I like pontoon boats. Like I said, there's lots of room. There's tiki lights. We're all good. So you go down to the Redneck Riviera, which is also known as Northern Florida and Southern Alabama. There's always somebody that will invite you on their boat. But recently, I'm sorry, a decorated combat veteran Joey Jones was recently on the Five, and he was talking about this whole thing with Alex Pretti, and he summed it up very well. Here's what he said.
Why was he shot? He was shot because of the reasonableness clause, the reasonableness doctrine. The Supreme Court decided this, which is the fact that if you are a police officer conducting police work and someone has, and it's explicitly outlined, someone has resisted arrest, violently or not, disobeyed orders, and shown the means to harm you, then you have the ability to protect yourself. Now, do I think he should have been shot? No, because I see 10 things that happened before that happened that could have been handled differently. But what I don't see are the 10 minutes before that happened. You call him a protester, I call him an agitator. He showed up with a cell phone. He showed up in the middle of the street, in the middle of an operation. That's common sense. I don't care what your passions are. To carry a weapon on your person and to get in the middle of a police operation, whether you believe it or not, that is lawful. 100%. Another way it could have been prevented is if there was a police cordon from Minneapolis Police Department stopping people from, like Alex Pretti, from getting in the middle of the operation rather than holding a sign and speaking loudly and proudly from 100 feet away. That is the end of the story. There might even be a federal agent that goes to jail because some jury or a federal investigation decides he acted prematurely or shot him and shouldn't have. I'm not arguing or disputing that because I haven't seen the investigation. But I know for a fact Alex Pretti had no business where he was in that moment. I know for a fact that he did resist arrest. And if you are carrying lawfully, the moment you resist arrest, you are now carrying unlawfully, to the point that in the state of Minnesota, your carry permit is revoked.
Yeah, and I think people are missing that point. I didn't even think of that point, that once you start resisting arrest and you don't announce that you have a gun on you, that's a problem. Whenever I get pulled over, it's like, I got a gun by my right knee, and they're like, on cool, and long as you leave it there, we're good. And I've never had an issue.
Yeah, it just was a string of bad decisions, kind of somewhat by everybody, but by the same token, he did not want to follow. All he had to do was get out of the road. They were telling him to get out of the road. They told another gal, get out of the road, and she just kind of looked at him and like, I don't have to move, and they moved her, and then that pissed him off, and it was just a series of these idiots just think they can get away with stuff, so...
Well, that's where I think this previous video, this video that was taken 11 days previous to this incident, it kind of fills in a lot of the blanks. I mean, we're seeing the rage and the anger that he had, the contempt he had for these ICE agents already. So, yeah. I mean, we don't know, and Joey Jones put it perfectly, we don't know what happened 10 minutes previous to this. No. I mean, there could have been all kinds of stuff happening.
There is an image going around currently that was AI manufactured, that the left is using. See, this is what, and you look at it and go, what the, one of the agents that's there doesn't even have a head in it. It doesn't exist. And the one agent is, his leg is bent down, and it's like, your body's not meant to get in that position. But they're showing it. Oh, this is, I mean, if you're going to do something that way, Photoshop it, whatever, at least do, that was, I've seen grade schoolers do better jobs. It was pathetic. And then they decided, oh, we're going to use this image, and it's all been manufactured.
Yeah. And, I think it spoke volumes when Uncle Joe was in office, and Corinne Jean-Pierre would go out there and say, well, he's fully functional in his brain. All these images are deep fakes. And like, most of us had never heard of deep fakes up until that point. Now we know that they know about deep fakes because they were using it previous to the rest of us even knowing about it.
Yeah. Always debunking something we didn't even know. What? Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for letting us know about that.
Always accuse your opponents of what you're guilty of, right?
That's right. And they're doing a lot of that right now, and it's not working out so good for them. And if the Democrats try to shut down the government again, they shot themselves in the foot the last time, and it's not going to be good this time because they still have some stuff to vote on over one little thing.
I was going to say, it's DHS funding is what I think was what's
right,
what's on.
Because they can't do anything about ICE. ICE is funded through September of 29.
Oh, is it really? Okay,
yes, it is pre-funded. They thought we're going to shut down ICE, and then they went, say what? We voted on that in the crap. Well, let's do this instead.
But I mean, most of the government's still open. I mean, there is part of it that's kind of like on the chopping block right now, but it's like it's just this I'm throwing a fit type attitude that the Democrats are doing in Congress right now.
You're removing all of our voters that shouldn't be voting, but you're removing them all.
And all my USAID funding.
All their slush funds are pretty much gone at the moment, and they're getting really PO'd. It's like the last bastion of backup stuff coming out of from the Somalis and California. What did I hear? It was the Russian mob and something else that's doing the same thing that they're finding in California. Yeah, there's a problem there as well.
Interesting. I knew the Somali issue was in Maine also, but at this point right now, this seems to be a Minnesota problem mostly because I saw.
It's huge in Ohio. They have a large population, Somalis in Ohio, doing the same thing there.
We're not seeing all the protests, is what I'm saying.
No, I mean, not in Ohio.
They're doing their stuff. Florida,
because Waltz isn't their governor.
Exactly, and little French fry, He is shaped like a French fry. But I think I forgot who I heard say that the other day. I thought that was great. But Florida, for example, they've had a lot more deportations and ICE executed things that have gone down in Florida. They've had almost no issues at all. And so Governor DeSantis was on Laura Ingraham last week, and he kind of outlined why.
Governor, we certainly are not seeing chaos in Florida as we've seen in places like Minneapolis. So what is the difference?
Well, when President Trump got elected, it was clear he got elected on two main issues, as you mentioned, the economy and the border, and not only stopping the invasion that occurred under Biden, but then removing the people who were here illegally. And so I called a special session of the Florida legislature, and we imposed a legal requirement on all state and local law enforcement agencies to participate with DHS in interior immigration enforcement operations. And the result of that has now been between state and local, we've done 20,000 apprehensions of illegal aliens, and that's in addition to what ICE is doing on its own. And you do have a very, very cohesive set of forces, and we're all on the same page. And here's the thing. The reason why I imposed that requirement, we have some sheriffs that would be gung-ho to do this. We've got some cities, some mayors would not want to do it, right? But since we did the requirement, if you act like Jacob Fry in Florida, then you get removed from your position. And so we have consequences to that duty, and it's worked very well. And it's important. The American people voted for this. This is something that has to be accomplished. And if it can't be accomplished with President Trump's presidency, then are we ever going to be able to get it done?
I love it. I love it. I think every state should have the same kind of requirement of their sheriffs and city police officers and county people,
mayors and
Mayors,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. Where hey, if you're not gonna, no, we're not gonna. And none of these guys that are acting like, oh well, it's our state and you can't come in here. Dude, you're a politician. Please, for the love of God, one time, just for the sake of, you might learn something. Read the Constitution, because the succession clause is, you don't get that say. This is a federal matter. Tough beaners.
I think they made a specific thing back in the 90s, 93, 90, 92, something like that, where they talked about where, federally, they spelled it out a little more clearly, saying that, federally we trump anything that you want to do, and we can come in and enforce immigration laws in your state, and there's nothing you can do about it. But apparently Minnesota, their leering up there has not been great, so they haven't read that part.
Still working on their spelling.
Well,
spelling
Don
bees,
Lamont
they haven't won very many of, anyhow.
Oh, no, definitely not. And I'm hoping that investigation kind of comes to fruition too. I'd love to see some of these people get perp walked. I'm still waiting, Pam Bondi. I'm still waiting.
Yeah. Well, Elon's good old Omar is heavy into that, and she's got some hinky stuff. It's just not working out. We talked about that last week, and Waltz is pretty complicit in all that stuff as well. He's been seen in pictures, and not good.
At the very least, he knew about it and looked the other way.
Yep.
So I think that there's complicit behavior in his office too. So, and I think it goes. I think who's the Attorney General? Keith Ellison. The same thing. I mean, they're all dirty. They're all dirty.
They're just trying to cover their patuchkas, and it's not going to work very, very good for them.
I hope not. Put it that way. Speaking of it not working, Don Lemon, who's been unemployed for quite a while now, has been arrested for the incident in that church up in Minneapolis. Everything's happened in Minneapolis. Oh my gosh, let's just sell that to Canada. Let's take Alberta. I sent that to our friend Corey the other day. It's like, let's do this swap. And he says, I'm in.
Yeah. They've had people up there standing. They want freedom. They're tired of the garbage that's going on, and apparently their constitution and the way it's set up is they can do that. They can just say "see ya." But people standing in the cold in below zero temperatures to sign a petition, just almost a mile of people standing and waiting in line all day to sign a petition. That's like somebody who wants out.
This is to secede from Canada.
Yes. Yep.
Really?
To have a referendum vote on whatever, they were signing that many people. It was just unbelievable.
The long line of people. Yeah, it's incredible. But with Don Lemon, his indictment has been unsealed by the court, showing he's been charged with 2 federal felonies. Count one is conspiracy. Do what? What are you going to say?
Just say not one, but two conspiracies in one.
Two in one. Yes. Just like the Retson, I think was the third. Yeah. Anyway, you got to be this old in order to understand. But anyway, count one was conspiracy against right of religious freedom at a place of worship. And count two was the Faith Act, which we talked about last week, is to injure, intimidate, or interfere with the exercise of right of religious freedom at a place of worship, which sounds very similar charges, but there's just under two different acts. So,
and they're looking into doing, it's a form of kidnapping, whatever, where you keep people from leaving. Essentially, they were corralled in there, and I can't remember. All of a sudden, I went, and I can talk about whatever that was.
Yeah, what is it? I know the word you're thinking of.
Anyhow, that's what it is, and
they're
looking at
the radio right now, going, "It's this." I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, neither one of us it's working for. Anyhow, it's along that lines because they blocked them from getting to their children. They blocked the door. One parishioner apparently trying to get out. That was so difficult, and what they were doing, jostling them around, they broke their arm.
Oh, really? I didn't hear.
Yeah, there's one
that kept them from getting to their children, which was downstairs. But when Don Lemon was talking to the pastor, it's like, the pastor just kind of like put his hand on him for a minute. Don't touch me. It's like going, oh my gosh.
Well, so sorry. What are you, diseased? Well, pretty close.
It's incredible. But I think this could be the best thing to happen to his career.
Oh, don't say that. That just makes me gag.
I know. But, I mean, he can proclaim that he's a victim now. And I think that's one of the things that the Democrats love to do. I'm a victim. Not only is he gay, black, but he's gay, black, and a journalist. I
thought you were going to say gay, black, and a jerk. Okay. So,
well, that too. A journalist, jerk, same thing, really, anymore.
You're playing semantics.
Anyway, I can see a whole lot of career upside here, and it's really kind of sad.
He's got some very expensive lawyer who defended somebody recently, and I can't remember who it was. Oh, it was the laptop from hell.
Same guy?
Hunter. Yeah, same guy.
Worked out so well for him. I mean, yeah, sure. Hopefully he saved some of that millions of dollars that he made at CNN. But I bet you MSNBC, MS Now, I bet they're going to reach out and try to give him a job because he's on people's minds now. He did exactly what I believe he set out to do, was get his name on the lips of reporters and on people in the country. And I think that he's trying to be relevant again. And here we go.
He's not. He wasn't relative when he was working at CNN. That's why they got rid of him, because of the outlandish and things that he said that were getting them sued. So.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And he, he's just so arrogant. Again, these people who believe that they're smarter than everybody else, they're the smartest person in the room, and there's nothing you can tell them. It's like once you stop being teachable, once you stop having the humility to know that you can't be right 100% of the time. I mean, and you and I live our life this way. It's like, man, I'm never that confident. I'm confident about some things, but I'm never that confident about my opinions on things. If you've got something to change my opinion, you've got hard facts that show me something different. Okay. But I'm a born skeptic. I'm always asking questions. I'm always like, that sounds maybe, but I don't know.
My grandparents came from Missouri, the show me state, and it's kind of in me as well as, show me. I want it, and I don't want it from one. I want it from something that's reputable. We all have different ones that have been reputable, and then they kind of sensationalize stuff, and it's like, okay, that one gets moved back.
And we learned that during COVID. I mean, a lot of that stuff got exposed during COVID.
Yep.
All that misinformation that they kind of were saying that we were doing, they were the ones guilty of that. Again, a Goebbels thing. They're out there.
Well, in the 2020 election, when you have all of the left news media saying the most secure ever in, you believe it's right, secure?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, it wasn't.
It's like when you're talking to somebody, you first meet somebody, and one of the first things they tell you 3 or 4 times, I'm the most honest person I know. I'm the most honest person. Really, if you've got to proclaim your honesty, and to me, that's a red flag. I'm sorry.
I'll find out whether you are or not. Anyway.
Let me make that determination.
Yeah, we hope Mr. Lemon, Don Lemon, gets his just rewards, because what he did was 100% wrong.
Yep. Kathy Griffin, just like Don Lemon, is desperate for attention as well. She released this on X, I think it was day before yesterday. Here we go.
Those of you that are awake, that see what's going on, what do you think the solution is? I think the murder of Renee Good, the murder of Alex Pretti, putting children on planes and taking them to detention centers, which are really concentration camps. Call it what it is. They're concentration
When did that happen?
in the United States of America in 2026. So take that in, and I know you don't want to participate in something radical. I don't either. I wish I could just go on the road and do my funny stories about celebrities or making fun of politicians, but not even have to acknowledge this. But it is happening all around you. It's happening around you. I live in Los Angeles. It's happening at targeted places in Los Angeles. And I think it's time to talk to the neighbors in real life. It's time to talk to your neighbors, find out if they're MAGA or not. Sorry, but we have to know who's on our team and start to plan. Is there a way we can do something as a community? When I hear from my followers in Minnesota, they describe a very sophisticated channel of a system of things that they do to help one another. And they use encrypted apps. And like I said, everyone has whistles and honks their horn, but they organize in small groups. And they have told me that they learned this from the George Floyd incident, because George Floyd was murdered 20 blocks away from these other murders, roughly. And so they said they learned a lot from that experience. So I'm just telling you guys, live your life, but be conscious of this. And if you're silent, you're complicit. Sorry, I know I'm being a judgy bitch, but that's how I feel.
What is it about liberal women that just can't stop talking? Once they get started,
I don't know. Yeah, check on your neighbor, because you need to know, and you need to report back to everybody that these guys are. Why does that sound familiar? Yeah, we're the ones that are bad? Really? With a...
She's just a mess, though. I don't know. Again, she's desperate to be relevant again. So
fascism and socialism and communism all wrapped up into one.
It's the warmth of collectivism. Yes.
Yeah, it's not so warm when you don't have any heat and you don't have anything to eat and
living on the street.
The stores are empty and
I think the heroin that you inject sometimes keeps you warm. I think that kind of like warms the blood.
Is that what it's for?
I think so. Yeah. Anyway, we're up against the break again. We still got a few more news stories to get to. We do have Representative Wesley Hunt explaining to us the big impact of all this illegal immigration we've seen the last 5 years. And so hang in there. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. More of the Stay Off My Lawn podcast is coming up.
She calls America evil. From her iPhone while sipping Starbucks, on an airplane, with Wi-Fi, while watching TV. She drinks oat milk because regular milk makes her feel colonial. She got 8 COVID shots, still caught it, and blamed the unvaccinated waiter. She has a Ukraine flag in her bio. She thinks Ukraine is a clothing brand. She says Black Lives Matter, but still clutches her bag in certain neighborhoods. She used to be vegan, now she's carnivore. Depends on who she's dating. She thinks all cops are bad, then called the cops because someone wasn't wearing a mask. She says she's a feminist until she needs a jar opened. She says, trust the science, but thinks there's more than 2 genders. She drinks ayahuasca for trauma she invented last year. She says she hates capitalism, but charges $499 for Zoom breathwork. She posts about toxic masculinity from her ex's apartment. She is the most conformist woman in the world.
I don't always drink, but when I do, it's from an organic coconut with a biodegradable straw. Stay obedient, my friends.
Oh, that was great. Did you send that to me?
Yes, I did. Oh, it's still funny to hear it again. Yeah, well, we were talking yesterday, tell me you're a liberal without telling me you're a liberal. I was in a class about making how your hip is going to be done and all that kind of stuff. So, but there was a gentleman in the class that there was only 2 bathrooms and people were waiting after an hour-long meeting to go in because we're old and everybody's got to go to the bathroom. Anyhow, he's standing in the hallway and I looked at him and went, oh, you've got to be kidding me. His hair is sliding back here. There's hardly anything up this way. It's gray and had a ponytail about that long and about as big around as my little finger in the back of his head. And it's like, okay, tell me you're liberal without telling me you're liberal.
Well, I guess he didn't want it to look like a mullet to begin with, and then
I don't know. There wasn't even enough there to make it look like a mullet. Oh, he was not giving up on his.
Apparently not. That's just.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, you can tell with people though. I mean, there were people wearing a mask at the hospital yesterday, really tight around their face and everything. It's like, you're going to be hypoxic. You're going to need this hospital if you keep that up.
Birkenstocks and socks. I mean, it's like, good
white
Lord.
Socks with red and white stripes on them. Yeah, actually Ukraine colors. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
anyhow, Wesley Hunt's got some good stuff for us.
Yeah, this illegal immigration is causing real problems because some states have allowed them to vote. The illegal immigrants, and we know what states those are, everything on the left coast, New York, Illinois, and all that. But Representative Wesley Hunt has maybe some reasons for all this.
The American people and the census manipulation that Democrats have been using to influence American elections for years. In 2018, Republican leadership, including the president himself, called for a citizenship question to be included in the 2020 census reports. To no one's surprise, when the Democrats took control, these requests went unanswered, and the question of citizenship was waived. But the fact remains that the concept of sanctuary cities and radical blue states ignoring immigration law and using the illegal population to manipulate the lines of congressional districts is, in fact, unconstitutional. Not only are there severe constitutional concerns from the inclusion of illegal immigrants, but the Census Bureau admitted to having made several, quote, errors in their 2020 census report. Convenient, seeing that as in 2020, Donald Trump was on top of the ticket. In 2020, the Bureau undercounted in primarily deep red states such as Arkansas, Florida, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Texas, all red, while overcounting in radical left blue states like Delaware, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New York, Ohio, and Rhode Island. This egregious error led to many states being denied proper representation in Congress and the Electoral College. So much so that these errors cost Republicans not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 seats in the House. In addition to the 2020 miscounting, including illegal immigrants in the census has improperly granted radical left blue states 12 additional seats in the United States House of Representatives. It's a total of 18 seats gained. That is a huge problem, and those are the facts.
18 seats.
There was an error made. 18 seats, which also affects the Electoral College.
Mm-hmm.
So, oops, did we? Yeah.
Means places like Maryland and where they might only have 6 electoral votes. I don't know how many they have, but I mean, all of a sudden now they're up to 8, and it could be enough to swing an election. And these are the little things that people don't pay attention to. But
the blue states right now are having a real serious problem because people are leaving virtually all of the heavy blue states where they just keep tax and spending because the Democrats don't know how to do anything. We know what to do with your money better than you do. We know what we're stuffing. We know what to do with it.
I think that's right, though. The
but
corruption runs now. Corruption's in every state. Red states are just as bad, but at the same time, they're not beating up their people. And like you said, they're leaving California, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, New York, Pennsylvania. They're all moving to the south. The big states that are getting inundated, as well as Idaho. Idaho was number one.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me. I hate hearing that we kind of moved out of the number one spot. We're back up there with a bullet. Boy, we've got more imports than we know what to do with.
Absolutely. So Idaho's number one, and then you got Texas, Tennessee, Florida. I think Florida's number two. Georgia, they're building like in our area, we've got apartment complexes going up everywhere. And, granted, we do have some new industry being built around our area, but it's just one of those things that we can only take so much. It's almost like you want to put a sign out in front. We're full. Move on. Go to Alabama, Mississippi.
Yeah, we're the high desert. We don't, you keep taking away things. We don't have any place for the water to go, and you
have
we
a
can't
hard
do
enough
that.
time supplying water to your residents now. So
Yep. So
anyway,
no snow this year. It's going to be. We're going to hear it all summer long. Drought, whatever.
Hopefully, your governor. Do you have a new governor since the last time?
No, unfortunately.
You got.
We got a giant rhino Republican who has been doing some stuff that let's follow the money, because that's not right.
You made some shady deals with that water, right? Sending
Yeah.
some to California.
You got farmers that have put stuff in the ground, and potatoes, they were up somewhere between 4 and 6 inches up out of the ground. You got to water that crop, or it's shut the water off to them. Say what? That's what the state lives on, is our agriculture. Somebody paid
hot and dry
money
you are in
and
summer
hot,
climate?
yes, and because we don't there, if you don't put water on it in this state, it doesn't grow. Maybe up in northern Idaho, there's some areas where they don't have to irrigate, but down here, all across the southern part, you don't have water, it won't grow. You'll have sagebrush.
I was going to say it'll burn it up within a couple of days, right?
Oh yeah, it'll be gone. Yep, it doesn't take long.
Last month there was an announcement that the website for Trump accounts, if you're not familiar with Trump accounts, go to trumpaccounts.gov, and you'll be able to kind of get a little bit more information on it. But it's starting July 5th. You can open an account in your child's name, start saving for their future. And as a bonus, if they were born between January 2025 and December 2028, December 2028, then the government will actually give you an extra $1,000 to start that account going. And that's actually not taxpayer money. Sounds like it's taxpayer money. These are donations from like the Dell family. And they got billions of dollars been donated to this program. So this is not taxpayer money.
It's like a giant endowment of a sort,
right, exactly,
for lack of a better term to call it.
We're going to do this for the granddaughters. We're going to make sure that the kids open them for the granddaughters. We're going to put a little bit in every year that we're alive anyway. And who knows how much it might grow. We start now. They might have enough to either go to college, get a loan, or to help buy a house. I mean, who knows what 20 years down the road will bring, but I mean, it'd be nice to have that kind of little extra money set aside. Anyway, at this Trump announcement, Trump said this.
A certain person that's here who's the greatest and most successful female rapper in history, Nicki Minaj. She's been such a great supporter and a great supporter of Trump accounts.
And we talked about Nicki, was it last week or the week before, that she's become
and she does stuff and she goes, that's the way I believe. And if you don't like it, well, I'm sorry. I'm not disparaging anybody. That's just who I prefer to support. And just as
she got to the podium and she said this.
I am probably the president's #1 fan. The hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him.
So that's kind of a strange bedfellow. I would have not have. I didn't have my money. That wasn't on my board a couple of years ago or a year ago that these two were going to team up and be buddies.
It's just more evidence of racism.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he hates black people. Goodness gracious.
And
that's just their fallback, though. Call somebody a racist, a white supremacist, a Christian nationalist is the new thing now. They love to just throw these monikers out there that don't mean anything.
No. When you ask, and how is that? How do you? Well, there's just a lot of things. Well, just name one. That just would like to have. This conversation's over. I've got to get back to protesting.
Well, there's just so many things. I just can't think of just one of them. Pick one out. I mean, and they can't. I mean, I've seen videos of this over and over again. I wish I could remember the name of that girl that I follow on YouTube, that she goes around to these protests and interviews people. And I can't remember her name, but she's
blonde gal, whatever. Yeah, she
got all the curly hair.
Yeah.
But anyway, nobody can really name anything that he's done as racist because he hasn't. Because he's not a racist. Richard and I are racist. I mean, it's like, why? That's where they come down to, though. It's like, if they call you a racist and you try to back it up and say, hey, I'm not a racist. Well, that makes you look even more racist, because it's like, as soon as you deny it, it's like, that's what they want, though. They want you to come out and go, oh, but I'm not, I promise. And it's like, you know what? I don't care what you call me, Christian nationalist, whatever you want to call me. I don't care. I know the truth. God knows the truth. I'm not worried about what you think. So, anyway, Peter Schweizer, who is a journalist, he wrote a book called The Invisible Coup. And I didn't know anything about this book until recently, but it unveiled another Chi-Com plot, Chinese Communist Party, if you're not familiar with that term, to mess with our elections. Liz Wheeler explained this the other day on her podcast.
You're not going to believe this is happening in the United States. Chinese billionaires are right now paying American women to be surrogates for their babies. Those babies are born in the United States, so thanks to birthright citizenship, they become U.S. citizens. But then they're taken back to mainland China. They're indoctrinated into Chinese communists and then redeployed here to the United States at age 18 to be voters. Guess how many times the Chinese Communist Party has done this in the past decade? Over 1 million times. That means in the days and weeks and years to come, there will be 1 million Chinese communists voting in U.S. elections. Talk about an existential threat to the United States. Thanks to Peter Schweizer for his amazing reporting in his newest book. Highly recommend you check it out.
Yeah, it's like I said, the name of the book is called The Invisible Coup. I have not read it, but supposedly it's dug into this plot. You know, the Chinese Communist Party doesn't just sit back and wait for things to happen. They make things happen. They're evil, but you got to give them points for having the energy to do what they.
I saw something the other day that Xi Jinping is he's done, and it's like, okay, he's not. He's not going anywhere, and people are rising up. Well, in China, they rise up. Okay, where's the next group at?
Anybody remember Tiananmen Square? I mean,
they
don't care whether you rise up or not.
Nope, they will take care of you won't be up for very long.
No. As a matter of fact, I think Tim Walz was in Tiananmen Square, is what he said anyway, but it turned out that wasn't true. Yeah, never mind. That was a lie. I forgot it was a lie. Anyway, more evidence of Trump's racism is a guy named Lorenzo Sowell. Now, if you're not familiar with him, it's Sowell if you want to look him up. But he's a leader of a black non-denominational church in Detroit called 180 Church. He spoke at the 2024 RNC, surprisingly. He gave one of the 3 benedictions at Trump's inauguration a year ago. He was telling a story of how Trump came to visit his church. I don't know when this happened, but he was on a show called Johnny Table Talk. Do you remember when this?
I don't recall when he said I don't remember if he was. I don't know if he was running for president. I think the first time in 2016.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm trying to. I don't know. I saw it. I don't know if this is one of those that we sent to each other.
I think we did. But here's his story on how all that came about.
President Trump wants to come to your church. I was like, yeah, right. What are you talking about? Yeah, okay, come on. So they sent over an agreement. I don't even read it. I sign it because I'm thinking it's a joke. I signed a little venue agreement. On a Monday, he comes. His team comes.
Well.
Half of the people look like me. I'm thinking, these kids, you're with Trump? What? We're in the hood. I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, look, you have the hood, and then you have the hood. You understand what I'm saying? In our community, like, you don't stop for gas. It's just terrible.
And the Holy Ghost right in the middle of it.
Right in the middle of it, in the midst of darkness, there shines a great light. I mean, I'm in Detroit. It's a Democratic stronghold. We haven't had a Republican mayor in 60 years. I don't think a Republican has come to Detroit since President Trump. Friday, the campaign says, by the way, Pastor, we want you to be a part of a roundtable. I don't even know what they're doing. Nothing was pre-programmed. Nothing was planned. He comes in, the most authentic person. Because in my community, when older white men get around black people from my community, because it's so polarized, not like the South, to President Trump, he wanted to be around black people, and black people, they could tell, they know that. That he wasn't socially awkward. Then he says, will you pray for me? People were yelling his name. So I'm a preacher. I'm in my church. I'm sitting there. They're chanting Trump. I said, hold on for a second, guys. We don't even chant Jesus like that. We gotta be careful around here. They're chanting his name. They literally sang happy birthday to him. It was unreal. I thought maybe there would have been a couple black people there. We have about 400 people there. Our church sits about 600. We have 400 people there. 70% were black. The media, the lying media, I never thought the media would lie. They said it was nothing but all white people there. They just lied. It was crazy.
Yeah, and what he mentioned was that in the South, it's like if an older white person, it is so evident if they are racist and they're trying to like pander to the black community, and it's very obvious when they are truly not racist and they try. It's just everybody kind of wears their heart on their sleeve in the South. Everybody's like, I am who I am. If you don't like it, most people anyway. So I would imagine up north it's different. I think people do kind of hide their racism a little bit more. I did notice that when the 5 years I lived up north. So, but anyway, I think that, if Trump was truly a racist, would he have gone to that church specifically? He might have, there's plenty of churches that are integrated. There are plenty of black and white people. He went to downtown Detroit to this guy's church. He got a lot of followers out of that.
Well, and the black community in general now is leaving the Democratic Party because they've been lied to so many times, and they're starting to see what it was they've been lied about, and they're going, wait a minute, that's it's not going to fly anymore. And
just like he said, they claimed it was mostly white people in that congregation that showed up, and it was just not true.
And if you don't think that word gets around quick in that kind of community, you got another thing coming. It didn't fit their narrative, so they made one up.
At least that pocket of voters, Trump got them turned, I think. It seemed
he went in and he just was Trump. He's just himself. He doesn't put on airs. He's not going to fluffy things up just because he's talking to somebody somewhere he doesn't.
Yeah, and I love that about him. And I'm involved in politics, statewide politics here in Georgia, and it's like, and most politicians you meet, it's like, you can tell if you don't have anything to benefit them, even Republicans. No, I'm not saying this is just Democrats, Republicans. If you're not benefiting them for some reason, they really don't have a whole lot to say to you. They're moving on. They're glad-handing and just go. So, I mean, for him to be as honest and open and about who he is and what he's all about, I think that's what's so refreshing for most of us. He says some things that you're going to have to tell your kids what he meant when they get older. But anyway. Finally, we have this interview with a young Venezuelan woman who made it to the U.S. legally. She's talking about her reaction to Maduro getting arrested and removed, and how getting used to her new lifestyle here in America. This is heart-wrenching. You need to listen to this.
An American that hasn't lived the terror of socialism will never understand what is going on right now. I don't care if you have a master's degree in whatever, unless you live it in your own skin, you won't ever understand it. And I think it's terribly disrespectful for anybody to tell a Venezuelan how we should react to that. I think it's terribly disrespectful to the people that have died saying that Maduro shouldn't be where he is. And I left my country with just the clothes I was wearing and a little bit of diapers and milk that I had left. Don't you dare telling me that this is not a reason for celebration. When I first come into the United States, I cried and had to turn around to my husband and ask him to please help me to open the shower because I didn't even know how to open the shower. When I walked into Walmart and I saw so many options to eat, I couldn't believe myself. Our reality is different. We want to live. And you guys have everything in this country, more than you could ever imagine. And I just wish that you could love it a little bit more and respect it a little bit more. Because if I had to give my life for America, I would.
Yeah, that's a perspective we need. We need to be reminded of this. Again, if you want to record that recording, I can email this to you. You can either call us at 706-383-9003, or you can email us at soml@duck.com, and I will send you that clip. I think all of us need to hear that. We need to play it for our family that's maybe kind of leaning to the left and thinking socialism is the answer. The question is never dumb enough where socialism is the answer.
Never is it the answer. And this was genuine. This was not some stage thing. This is someone who's lived it and been through it. And these idiots that want to try to tell you how great things are, they're already trying to lynch Mamdani. They stormed his office or something the other day.
Really?
Yeah. So he's in trouble. And then Spamberger, that's what I call it, in Virginia is not any better. These people that say, oh, yes, does America have problems? Every place has problems. There is nothing that's perfect. And if there's anything that's about as far from perfect as you can get, it's socialism is not the answer for any problem you have. Anybody who thinks the big government is my friend and will do everything for me and I don't have to think for myself, yeah, no, they're wrong.
Yeah, we talked about socialist leaders a couple of weeks ago and how many of their own people they killed over in the past. This is history, folks. This is nothing that, the abstract facts or anything. These are, you can read about this. This is Stalin, Pol Pot. I mean, these people killed millions of their own people.
Hundreds of millions.
Yes, hundreds of millions.
Really sad.
It really is. And I really think that we need to, if you don't know your own history, I forgot who it was that said this. If you
you're doomed to repeat it.
And you're bound to repeat it.
Yep.
So I do think that, this whole, but if you look at, and there's another paper that I have that talks about the history of some of these huge empires of the world, the Roman Empire, the Persian Empire, the Ottomans, how they met their demise. And it normally ends up to where at the end, it was about everybody got lazy and wanted the government to give them everything. And only a handful of people ended up working. And of course, that just collapses in and on itself. So, I mean,
Margaret Thatcher said socialism works until you start running out of other people's money. And that's what brings them all down, all of it.
Sure does. Hey, we need a palate cleanser. That was actually a good palate cleanser, but this is about a singer that, and Richard and I had no idea, that all of us know about. No matter what age you are, you probably know who this is. So here's Paul Harvey and...
Now, the rest of the story. Jackie Jean stared up into the bright light above the operating table, and it seemed to consume her. A simple procedure, the doctor had called it, a little dilation, a little scraping, and good as new in no time. Of course, back home in Arkansas, they'd had another name for it. They called it an abortion. In that lightning-fast way your mind works when it's scared, Jackie Jean's rewound and replayed every mistake that had led her to this rotten place. It had been a mistake, for instance, letting herself be born to parents so young, a 15-year young mother and a 17-year young alcoholic father. It had been a mistake letting her parents separate when she was only 6, then letting her dad take her hitchhiking across the country. It had been a mistake singing in bars for nickels the age of 7, and just because Dad told her to, and then sleeping in Salvation Army shelters because he couldn't or wouldn't go to work. It had been a mistake winding up on welfare in the slums of Los Angeles and then helping subsidize her father's bad habits by hawking greeting cards on the street. It had been a mistake hiring herself out as a maid at 13 and then letting herself envy the wealthy family that she worked for. But the biggest mistake of all was a no-good named John Sarkeesian. Jackie Jean was 18 when she met him at a donut shop in Fresno. He was so handsome, so exotic, so fascinating. So she married him and found out that he also was a bum, a lazy, alcoholic bum like her father, also a heavy gambler and a bit of a brute. No sooner were they married than Jackie Jean wanted out. John begged her, "Give me 3 months." She gave him 3 months, after which she still wanted a divorce, only now she was pregnant. John had never earned enough money to support the two of them. He could scarcely be counted upon to support 3. So now lying there on the abortionist's table, staring up into that awful overhead light, Jackie Jean wondered how she could have made so many terrible, terrible mistakes, or why she should now seek to erase them all by making one more mistake. "Are you ready?" the doctor asked in a cool, calm voice. "No," Jackie Jean answered, "I am not." And with that, she got up off the table and put on her clothing and walked out the door. If she could, she would go home and make her marriage work. If she couldn't, she would have her baby anyway. And the two would do it somehow. Either way, the odds were against her. Jostled in and out of 17 different schools, Jackie Jean, still 18, had not even managed a high school diploma. But she could sing for nickels if she had to. At least her dad had taught her that. And so she did. For once upon a string of mostly unavoidable mistakes, there was a teenager from Kensett, Arkansas, who suddenly started doing things right, like May 20, 1946, when she gave birth to a daughter named Sherilyn, a little girl who had come within moments of being lost to an abortionist's knife, a child with no chance, whom the world now knows simply as Cher. That name is now in lights. C-H-E-R. Cher. Only now you know the rest of the story.
And we didn't know who that was.
I couldn't figure out. I mean, I knew she had had a bad childhood, and she has dyslexia, which has caused learning problems because you can't read stuff. So she's had that. And I knew all those things, but I didn't know anything. She was in Arkansas? Really? Cher?
She doesn't sound like Arkansas at
No,
all.
she doesn't. So yeah, that was a fascinating one. That, man, what a life. And then at essentially the last second to go, nope, not going to do this. Good for her.
Oh yeah, exactly. And yeah, do I think she's politically completely wrong? But you know what? And you know, there's a lot of things I don't agree with her on personally. But what a story from rags to riches. I mean, you just that's the American dream, when you can take your life that is kind of in shambles, a dumpster fire, and make it to where she's probably one of the richest women in the country, I would think.
Yeah.
She's been active for a long time.
Yep.
So anyway, we hope you were somewhat informed and had fun like we did. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Smart Speaker, or Rumble, or wherever you get podcasts.
Yeah, and if all that's difficult, you can always go to, if you can put in a web address, you can find us at stayoffmylawn.us for all our past and present episodes.
And we will see you next week, folks. And then I'm taking a week off. So
that's right.
Tune in
Yeah,
next week.
one more week. I would have been taking it off too, but Toodles, and thanks so much for listening. And don't forget to tell a friend. We appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful week. Well, we had fun and hope you did too. The opinions heard here today are not those of anyone other than Mike and Richard. If it made you laugh or go, or even, huh? Then we've done our job. Sort of. Well, mostly anyway. And if we made you think about things in a common sense manner, we welcome you to the club. And if it didn't, then just stay off my lawn. See you next time.